everybody, hope you're well. Welcome to our Combi session this morning. I hope you're dealing with the hot weather. If the microphone's not working, please put on the comments because we haven't had a chance to kind of test any of this, so a bit last minute as always. Let me introduce our resident superstar chef, Michael.
I'm sure you all recognise me from all the lives.
Yeah, so we've been doing some Combi demos and Combi comparisons. So we've been working with various Combi ovens for the last 6 months, I think, haven't we?
Yeah.
So we've kind of we've been looking at Combi ovens and different manufacturers and things like that. So I see it from kind of almost like an engineering kind of perspective, and obviously value for money perspective and things like that. I think Michael is pretty much food orientated, performance related.
And just comparing them all, seeing which one was better, seeing which one was the same. It worked out all right. They are all very good machines.
They're all good machines. Everything's kind of got its place in the market.
It does.
Okay, so let's talk about Combi ovens in the basic form, because a lot of our customers sort of don't understand Combi ovens, and I have to, well, I don't have to, but I do a lot of training with our new recruits, so they don't want to be on camera, but they're just underneath you now. So they're kind of we kind of teach our crew, our solution coordinators, how to sort of get over the benefits of these machines to customers. And it's probably, hand on heart, one of the only machines I sell where we can get our money back within like a certain length of time. So I think your investment on a Combi oven, regardless of pretty much the sort of make, you should be within the 6 month to 12 months basis. So just let's unpick that comment for a second. 10,000 quid investment, and I'm telling you that you can get that back within 6 to 12 months. So and that's, I think, there's obviously there's companies which have specific data that tell customers about how their machine is kind of better than its competitor, but in general, everybody's going through the same sort of competing in that same frame, isn't it?
It is. So the two things that will save you most money really and the investments is first of all the meat shrinkage inside the machines, isn't there? The meat shrinkage is between 15 and 25%. So if you get 15 portions out of a roast beef joint, you'll be getting an extra 2 or 3 portions every single week, every Sunday. And you've also got your overnight roast as well. Yeah,
so it hit the nail on the head there. As regards of using these machines in a sort of 24-hour framework, we would be looking at sort of cooking these machines overnight on a Delta T program. So basically what we call by Delta T, just explaining that for you, is basically it's a gentle way where the oven heats up, waits for the core temperature to get to a certain level.
Yeah.
So that goes into your product. So we go and say it comes out of the fridge at say 5 degrees. We go up to 20 degrees. This waits for that core temperature to get to 20, and then goes to 30, 40, 50, 60, 70. Oh no, hang on. If it's beef, it's probably about
48.
48. So 48 we're finished on like some beef. What about chicken and stuff? What's that?
I normally sit between 65 and 68.
So yeah, okay. So yeah, but it's gently going to do that. And then does it switch off and does it hold the product? No, it doesn't. It holds it in the heat, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So it actually doesn't sort of like just switch off and go to sleep, because we're not allowed to do that. So we're allowed to cook things, or we're allowed to put things in the fridge. That's where you can store food. You can't just store food in an oven. That doesn't work. So what it does do, it will hold that with its steam and with everything else. It will hold that up until you get in the morning. Now there is claims from some manufacturers that you can go a full 24 hours and you shouldn't really, the food should still be in good condition. I could love some questions from you all. So any questions you've got and anything, just shout out. If you can't hear me, shout out as well. So we're talking about that. So that's the Delta T method, slow overnight roast.
Yeah.
that's where you're going to get a big saving. So we're going to get a big saving of about like in a conventional oven, we lose a third of that product weight. So, but you can imagine if we can get you sort of a 22% saving or a 20% saving on your meat bill, that comes into your restaurant. Happy days. And I'm not talking about one manufacturer here. I'm talking about pretty much all of them being able to maintain savings and shrinkage.
Yeah.
Is that right?
That's right, indeed.
Okay.
It is.
Good. Next one is energy. So the next big saving, I should have a whiteboard here and actually write on what the savings are. But the next one is energy. So we're talking about energy now. This thing can go up to 300 degrees C. I don't know which one we've got switched on. Now you'd be better with this than me. So we can actually put that on to 300 degrees. And I can touch it all over the place, okay? So if you're looking at like a conventional oven, and one, it won't even go anywhere near 300 on a conventional gas oven and stuff like that. But you try and touch it. You try and touch the door, all the rest of it. These things, you will not feel heat. So the energy is designed to go into the product. So it goes into the product and not in the environment. And how hot has it been just recently? It's been so hot. So basically, all the energy of that we're using is used to cook the product, as well as it's worth a mention, isn't it, that basically it can come on and do a specific roll and switch itself and then hold and then go into a holding mode. So it's not something that you would put on in a morning, say at 7:30 for breakfast, and then turn it off at night when you're just locking up at night. It's prompting you to cook things. So it holds itself in sort of like a kind of an energy efficient method. And then to actually put stuff in, it's kind of prompting you to use the dials to actually go through a process, start a process, or start, middle, end of a process, start, middle, end. So it's actually, and then back onto its kind of holding pattern after that. So you can imagine a conventional oven taking 20 minutes to warm up, yeah? And then, it's on all the days because you can't be bothered to kind of like reheat it and turn it off. Hang on, I've got an order coming in like I'm gonna get busy at 2 o'clock. I'm gonna relight the oven. Actually, I'm quiet now, 4 o'clock. I'm not gonna use it till 6. I'm gonna turn it back off again. I'm gonna turn it on. Like, you show me a frigging chef that does that. Am I allowed to swear? I'm not allowed to swear, am I? Not in the morning, not in the morning. So you show me a chef that can actually, is going to go through that process, and honestly, they'll be worth a fortune, but they don't. They just leave it on.
So each of these combis, going back to the energy saving as well, the reason the glass is also so cold is because each one has got 3 layers of glass in there as well, so each one's got 3 layers. So I don't know if you'll be able to see it on the live there, but you've got one there, you've got one just behind it, and then obviously one on the front. So you've got 3, which stops the heat leaving the door.
Yeah. Go on.
Sorry, I forgot what I was going to say now.
So yeah, 3 thermal. So they've got the 3 layers of glass, like we said. They're all here to do a job and switch themselves off. They're all here to kind of warm up. I think these ones are this boiler fed or
spritzer boiler.
But right, okay. So we've got spritzer one in the middle.
Yeah.
And then these 2 are boiler fed machines. So what is the difference there? Your spritzer ones are normally a bit cheaper, okay? So it's got a bit less going on inside it. But when it says spritzer, it's basically what it is. It hasn't got a boiler. It's going to squirt the water directly onto a gas heat exchanger, a gas boiler with tubes going up, squirts water on that, like you do in a sauna, and it steams, go like that. Basically, that's what that is. This one, the spritzer here. So it's instant steam, so there's some benefits there. There's benefits also that the boiler's not going to get furred up with limescale. There's good benefits there because you're going to see the limescale in it. So again, back in the year, I used to sell Angelo Poes 25 years ago, and they were all spritzer machines, and they were bulletproof, absolutely bulletproof. Because if you can see the limescale, it's in the chamber. It's not like these where it's hidden in the back in a boiler that you're never going to see. That one and that one. they've as the world's developed, obviously boiler-fed machines are seen to be more kind of accurate at what they do. Okay, it's kind of more instant as regards of a performance on a boiler one is better, but also you've got that fact if you've got the water care that you're going to have to consider. So the German one, they've come up with tablets to descale it, and it's very, very precise as regards of maintaining lime scale on that machine. So other manufacturers have asking you to kind of use their cleaning chemicals, whether it's a liquid or whether it's kind of, and we're going away from liquids now, do you not think, Mike?
The only one that runs on liquids is the Combi firm.
Yeah.
Other than that, the rest of them either run on tablets or they've got like an auto dose.
So the world has got a little bit more sort of Health
and safety conscious.
Yeah. And they don't want you to touch the chemical and touch food. So they're wanting now to sort of like have these tablets and have things which you can sort of penetrate. The tub can penetrate. It's a sealed tub. Slide it in the machine. It kind of penetrates the cap of the tub. You don't have to touch anything, and then looks after itself and kind of maintains it. So chemically wise, it's kind of like pretty bulletproof, I would say, wouldn't you?
Yeah, and you can never get the mistake of someone putting the wrong amount of tablets in every single time and it causing issues over time.
Or that bag. How many call-outs have I had with the
bags?
Putting the wrong tablet in the wrong hole and it kind of jamming into the waste onto the pumps and stuff like that. That's been a nightmare. That's like 250 quid to kind of remove a bag out of a Combi, which, I don't really mind getting paid 250 quid for pulling a bag out of the machine. That's not a problem. But my customers hate it. I'll give you that for free. So we've a big advance on chemicals, isn't there really a regard that? But let's go back to the energy saving, because we haven't finished that cycle there. So we talked about shrinkage. We talked about triple door energy and the Delta T cooking overnight. And the rest of it is probably time, I think. So energy, shrinkage and time. Yeah. So tell me about your experience in the kitchen, being like head chef as you are, as regards of how do these save time?
They save you plenty of time. Sunday's probably the most important day for time, because most of the time your oven's pretty much full all morning for 3 hours or 4 hours, however long it is. I used to come in at 7:30. And first you have to put all your meats in, your beef, your lamb, your pork, whatever it might be. And once that comes out, you then bang your roasties in, not your roasties, your Yorkshire puddings, you do your Yorkshire puddings next, and you can't open the oven door while they're in there. So your oven's taken up now for, depending on how many you need to do, it's going to be at least an hour really. It takes 20 minutes to get the trays hot, and then it takes another 20-25 minutes to cook them. And then obviously you've got your roast potatoes, your roast veg, and if you're quite a busy little spot and you've only got one oven, it takes up a lot of time. But if you can use that Delta T function on one of these ovens, you can come in the morning and your meat's already done, and that saved you time in money. So you either got more time to work on more prep in the kitchen, or the staff can come in an hour later. And that every single week for 52 weeks a year.
We got a question here. Which is generally cheaper to run, gas or electric unit?
Good question. I think gas has probably got the edge on it still, as regards of being price per kilowatt. I'll get you the price per kilowatt of gas and electric. I've got somebody on doing that at the moment, so that's going to come to you in about 30 seconds. So yeah, it has got the edge. I think it still has got the edge. We've done some analysis with a local pub chain, and we were looking at, like, back in the day when we looked at this, it was about 30% but cheaper, but even more than that cheaper of energy cost. Now, here's come the rub. Let's talk about the rub. The rub is gas is not easily. Have we got some figures there?
Yeah. So electric average
price per
26p per kilowatt.
Yeah.
Gas 7p per kilowatt.
Yeah. So it's still a country mile cheaper. Okay. Here comes the rub, though. Let's talk about the rub. Gas is not a product that is easily kind of easily generated by renewable source. Okay, electric is. solar panels, loads of solar panels on our roof. Kind of, it's deleted my bill here by, I think we're £7,000 a month for my bill in this building for the fabrication plant and all the rest of it. I should give you some details about this, and then we're down to, I think, sort of, was it 700? It's a massive saving, and it's a 35k investment, and it's about 15 months worth of payback for that investment for me as an owner, business owner. So there's the rub. So the electric is quite easy to replace with renewables and go down that sort of channel. I know that's not available to everybody, but the other rub we've got as well is gas is more expensive to maintain, okay, and basically more expensive to install, more expensive to be compliant. And when I say compliant, we're talking about canopy overhangs, we're talking about air replacement, I'm talking about interlocking, I'm talking about everything you're going to need for your kitchen, okay, as well as it's going to introduce a lot of heat into your kitchen. All right, so nowadays induction of kind of coming in as being very trendy because it doesn't bring the heat into the kitchen. It's sort of way more energy efficient than even gas, because again, it's putting the energy into the product and not into the environment, into your kitchen. So again, that's worth a look at. So you'll see a massive spike in induction sales as regards to conventional gas. And I urge everybody to kind of look at that. If you've got an old gas cooker, convection induction, I should be saying. Induction cooking might be the way forward. So yeah, it's energy. The gas will still have the edge on it, but again, compliant. And also downside to that is Delta T cooking, overnight cooking. It's not recommended that you're going to leave your gas appliance on overnight, and then you're going to have interlocking on, which is your extraction and air input systems on running. So if you're residential, your guests are not going to enjoy your kitchen humming away all night whilst your roast dinner gets cooked. Whereas it's electric, it doesn't need to do that. We can put it anywhere in the kitchen. Good.
So we were talking about savings, weren't we?
Yeah.
That's what we're talking about. So as I was saying, it saves the chef an hour in the mornings on a Sunday. And you know, most chefs coming together, so you'll have two people earning £14 an hour, maybe £15 an hour. So over the year,
and the rest.
So let's just say, for argument's sake, £15 times 2 times 52 for the whole year. So that'll work out about £1,500 if my maths is about right, somewhere there or thereabouts. But that's just 1 hour on one day for 2 chefs, and that's it. And then that's not even taking into consideration all your meat shrinkages, which will have a few extra portions and stuff. So, you know, they are an investment, as you said before, aren't they, as well?
It costs you money. For me, it costs you money not to have one. That's always been. So it's been like that for the last 5 or 6 years, and they're just getting better and better, I think, as regards of the manufacturer's technology. And they're all claiming, each one of them are claiming to be the most efficient and the most energy efficient. And it's like almost going to run on fresh air. Tomorrow it's going to run on fresh air. You know, like you have like a new and improved aerial washing powder. What the frig was wrong with last week's? Why did it really need? Why did it really need? What was so good? Why is it after? It's the same in our industry. They just go on and on and on as regards of improvement, consistent improvement on these sorts of things.
And they are really consistent machines as well throughout. So like when you're cooking, you're going to get the same product at the same consistency out of it every single time. Like this has got something called a lambda sensor.
All right.
Is that what it's called? And it tests the temperatures inside the machine 3,600 times a minute. So it's constantly working, figuring out exactly what temperature's inside and keeping it at that temperature as well.
Okay. How long have we got left? I probably won't have 10 minutes. Okay. So let's talk about, for me, like, which one do you buy? Okay. Because obviously I think they're kind of like, they're kind of in the market, aren't they? They're all contenders, we feel.
Yeah.
They're all contenders. So it's like, and we're independent. So the good thing is, like, I ain't going to steer you down a rabbit hole as to which one you want to buy. I am not bothered whether it's Electrolux, Combi Therm, or the Hobart, I'm not bothered. If you wanna sort of come here and get a price, hopefully I'll probably be the best price on them all. So that's kind of like eliminates that really. Mike, you're very happy to talk to customers, aren't you?
I am indeed.
So you're in the office. So Mike's a chef of 20 whatever years experience heading some good kitchens in the area. So he's kind of like practical knowledge of regards of, and you've done all the demos as well, haven't you? So you've kind of cooked on all these.
I have.
Same products, same like competing. So again, they're all live videos. You can go back and see some of those. So again, you can get that practical advice. For me, looking at engineer and purchasing, it's a tricky one really. It's really tricky, and I not scream at my manufacturers, but I have passionate debates with my manufacturers about sort of how they should approach the market. And the reason why I do this is because they all sit in their pretty offices either in Italy, Germany, Europe, wherever they're manufactured, to be honest. They all sit in the office and then they'll come up with statistics like, it's 300, what do you say, 300 what?
3,600
times a minute it checks itself or something, does it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, that's absolutely great. That's absolutely fine. Get all that. You're sort of like your pioneers in the industry. But for me, the most important thing for my customers is it will break. Yeah, it will break. It is a machine, so it is going to break. Eventually, it will break. So what do they consider fair breaking period? So if it breaks in sort of like, if you get 8 years out of it before you start having to sort of ring an engineer, get it serviced and all the rest of it, that to me is probably a bit fair game for this type of machine. The problem I have as well, I'll just put it in there, that this becomes the lifeblood of the kitchen, doesn't it? So when they do break,
it's an emergency.
you see, they're either going to walk out your kitchen, your chefs. It's like your dishwasher. If your dishwasher's going to break, yeah. So it's kind of like it is the same kind of thing as what I call it. It's a business critical piece of equipment.
It is.
That's what I think. So that therefore then kind of answers a different question, and I wish my industry would answer this question stronger than they are doing. So it's down to speed of response. It's down to the engineer that stood in front of it. Does he know what he's doing? Has he got the parts on the van? Can he fix it? Can he work to a 95% first fix rate? And that's where this is where my passion with my industry is that it's okay selling a product and promising the world, but then where are they on a Friday of a bank holiday weekend? Where are they on a Friday when it flashes and then goes dead? You know, where is that support? And that support is from us. So, 8 till 8, 7 days a week, you're going to get that. But, we're in Cumbria. I've got engineers all over. Don't worry about that so much. But, I am passionate about getting somebody in front of that machine that on a Friday afternoon that can get there and fix it. And I think that to me is the market, and that is worth in the market thousands of pounds more than just its cheapest competitor. If you can say to a customer, I can get there within X amount of time, 24, 48 hours, and fix this machine, then that's what I'm about really. Because, it is business critical. Yeah. You are, when you're turning over, well, to be in business now, probably after 20 grand a week or whatever, 30 grand a week after turning over in our catering industry, you know what I mean? Like the £7,500, £3,500, £4,500, it almost becomes irrelevant. It's not irrelevant. Everyone likes a deal. Everybody likes a deal, but you need to put some consideration on product support, and that's where I think CaterKwik. I'm a gas engineer by trade. I obviously have a company that's pretty well known in the UK. But that's how I approach everything I sell. I approach everything that I sell as to whether I've got the spare parts, whether I've got the lads trained up on it, whether they can actually get in there and stand there and know what they're talking about and fix it. That's something that's like passionate to me. So I think that's, and if you're in a chef, that's surely to God, that's got to be something worth its weight.
It is, yeah, it is. It definitely is, because I think that's why a lot of people gravitate towards the rationale, the same they do with a Merry Chef or the same they do with various other items. They all get one particular known brand, but you can't. They've got so many rationales. They've got so many service partners around the UK that it is super easy to get an engineer out super fast. But the other ones also have engineers as well that can get out quite quickly.
I think but my counter argument to myself. How long have I got time? Why is 5 minutes? That's fine. The counter argument to myself is this is hold its own. This is £3,700. This thing here. Let's go to a bit more of a. I was trying not to use the R word too much this morning because you can see there's a gap in this hall here, so you can tell which one has sold. So this is £6,500. So between these two, this is almost like half the price of this.
Yeah.
And I've sold when the big R word, and I'll just use the R word, when they stumped their toe over COVID and couldn't get the bloody disc, couldn't get the chips to manufacture the machine, and they kind of like the world came to an end for the R word.
Yeah.
This kind of soared in sales, and I was like, oh no, or and they were just lapping this up, absolutely lapping it up, and I was thinking, oh no, this is just going to be a bumpy ride. 12 months time, they're going to be ringing me up. 18 months time, they're going to be ringing me up. Rah-de-rah. And to be honest, we have sold quite a few of these, and they have not really given me any hassle whatsoever. So
yeah,
there needs to be some reality as regards of, and a lot of the when you actually get the product, and especially for owner operators, I would say a lot of the facilities don't get used. They just go on steam, they go on convection, they get into a comfort zone, and that's where they stay, don't they?
Yeah.
It's different if you're Green King, or you've got a fleet of chefs which are their menu development chefs, and you kind of like everything you do has to be a process. That's where these your Bluetoothing and all the rest of it, and menu development and programming your menu into this is good. So it's horses for courses, isn't it?
It is, and especially especially that one over there, like setting menus on it does take a bit of skill and a bit of know-how. Does require some training as well. The suppliers can come in and do it, but this one is just really sort of basic, but in a good way. Like, it's really, really simple to use. You haven't got the same benefits as the Hobart in the corner that can do various sort of multi-tray cooking and stuff like that. So this one's just more of a sort of basic one, but it's really, really simple to use, really user-friendly, especially if you've got a lot of Combi chefs or younger chefs who don't quite know what they're doing with it and don't get a bit confused with these bigger ones. So this is kind of ideal for that, really, especially if you've got a lot of turnover of stuff as well.
Yeah, and that's always an issue these days, isn't it? Like the high turnover, or getting good chefs and getting good people to come and be part of your team. I think that's like a key thing, isn't it?
It is.
And go on.
No, sorry, no, you go.
But what I would just wanted to kind of finish on really is this morning is just getting the message over that we are so independent. I will, a spade's a spade. And I'll hopefully always tell you as it is. Nothing's ever perfect. I can count so many times how many times I've stumped my toe compared to how many successes I've had. Is like there's a warehouse full of stumped toes. Believe me. So what I am trying to get to you there is we are independent. Use Mike as regards of the knowledge he has. Come here And if you want to use the machines, you know, it's all right looking online.
Yeah.
Sometimes people want to just slam a door,
Do a bit of wheel kicking.
kick it, you know what I mean? Not too hard, I hope. You know, people want to do that. And, you know, it's 7 or 8 grand. It's a big chunk of change, isn't it? And we can take some of the sting out of that as well, because we can finance stuff as well for you.
Yeah.
So you can sort of like get these costing you like 20 quid a week, you know, and like, so really, if you look at the cost savings that we've talked about, and I'm saying to you, it's going to cost you 7 or 8 grand saving in over 6 months, and you can get this for 20 quid a week. To be honest, it's like, what's to stop you? You know, it's gonna cost you 20, but save you 60. So that's a way of looking at it, isn't it? So, Mike, thank you so much for your time. I hope you found that useful. Next week, next Thursday, we're going to do gas regulations on barbecues and outdoor catering. So this is going to be a good one, isn't it? So all you festival goers with your gas bottles and your dodgy gas appliances, we're going to show you what the things to look out for with that. Mobile catering, LPG, stuff like that. So we're going to have a session on that next week. So get your questions ready to fire into me, because I love it if you can catch me out. So yeah, we're going to build a system on that. So that's good. And we're going to tell you all about the regulations about LPG and stuff. So I'll look forward to you tuning in next week, 8 o'clock. Don't be late. Ciao, ciao.
Bye.